right, here we go again.
I have notes this time.
I know.
And you have notes.
I have notes. We prepared this time. Excellent preparation on both of our behalves. Now, let's see how on task we can stay with notes.
We can stay on.
Okay, I believe in us.
You want to go first and what you remembered to pick out?
Well, I think something that we touched on last week whenever we said we were wanting to talk a little bit about mental health, I think that's kind of what I think is a good idea for us to talk about. But at first, I think we need to define what we mean by mental health before we go any further.
Well, how do you look at it?
I think that mental health in general is being wary of your environment and knowing how it affects you and ways for you to combat how it affects you, be it negative or positive. I think everybody should have the opportunity to be able to know what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Obviously, like we've said before, we are not trained professionals.
Not at all.
So I think we're just talking about from perspective. So what does mental health mean to you?
Well, okay, so we're aware that I've struggled with mental health often, and I just don't want to see anybody else deal. I hate seeing other people. And if I can offer the kind word that says like, "Hey, I'm here." Hey, I'm here. Sorry, guys. Hey, I'm here. And then that's what I say when I'm here. I'll listen to you. And to be honest with you, I think I invite a lot of people to tell me their problems. Maybe I shouldn't. But I want to be somebody who can help. So in the sense of mental health, what does mental health mean to me? I don't know. I'm not a trained professional. I figure if we could put some sort of kindness out or even just be a kind person, then maybe I don't know, I can improve somebody's mental health.
Okay, you made a really good point there. Whenever you say support, what do you think that looks like?
Well, I mean, it could be anything. We could do support with just being the listening ear. I'm not going to give you any, if I haven't experienced it myself, and even if I did, that doesn't mean what happened to me and then how I reacted and or took care of things is going to actually be what works for you.
Right.
So I don't want to say I'd give advice. I'd say, here's what I had done. Whether that works for you or not, I can't help you. But maybe at some point in time, you could take the lesson that I learned and restructure it to what your situation is. And it would help. And maybe just in the long run, just knowing somebody else went through it and made it through it and is standing in front of you, survived, gives you the hope to say, you know what, if they did it, I can do it.
I can agree with that.
And now I have somebody who will stand with me while I do it. And I do. I want to stand with somebody and be there and just be like, you know what, you're doing it and you're kicking butt and I'm here and I'm happy to see you get over that threshold. Now turn around and help the next person across.
Right. Agreed. I think of support very similarly. Similarly. You know what? I don't know. I can't English. It's fine. I think of it very similar. You know what? Whatever.
Like I do.
Yes. So I think that another thing that's important is not necessarily somebody that agrees with you all the time. Oh. Not somebody who is just like, oh, you're just fine. But someone who genuinely understands that you're in your emotions. They may not understand what you're going through, but they do understand those emotions because it doesn't matter. At some point in time, everybody's emergency is the emergency.
Exactly.
And you feel that panic and you feel that terrible, terrifying emotion that you completely understand.
Yep.
And so just being able to be there for somebody, I think even not just what I enjoy receiving, but just being able to be there for somebody and say, hey, you know, it's okay. You've survived 100% of the bad days you've experienced thus far. You've got this. And I think encouragement is really, really important. And I don't know. I think that at a certain point, a lot of people really struggle to ask for help, though. Why do you think that is?
Because you don't want to be weak. I don't want to say to somebody, I can't carry everything I'm holding. I'm struggling. And it took a long time for me to say that at all. I mean, look, God, I'm going to say 20 plus years I've been struggling with mental health. Okay. I don't think I've ever physically asked for help until this past year. Now I've mentioned it at the doctor's. I've said like, hey, I'm kind of struggling, or hey, I feel sad.
Mhm.
And I'm always met with, and this stigma that bothers me. You know, if you lost some weight, you'd feel better.
Oh,
The hell does my weight have to do with what's going on
everything
in
was
my
always about
brain?
our weight.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
So now it's like, okay, well, I've dropped 80 something pounds. Is it still that?
Right.
Oh, you'd be happier if you were thin. Well, why does thin equal happy?
It doesn't.
Exactly.
It doesn't. Not at all.
So that part bothers me. So in the sense of like what you're saying, and I want to go into the idea you had with the mom in the minute. Or mom for a minute. I'm sorry. And then you can turn around and take everything we're learning and what we're talking about and make this into, I want to see you make it into a movement. I think you created something that's going to be a movement, and I want to be a part of it. And I'm happy that you brought it up, and I'm excited to share it with absolutely everybody I walk into, because I'm chatty and I talk to random strangers. But you know that that's how we met.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I think, yeah, I don't know. I just hope that people understand in general that things aren't going to get better unless we do things to make them better.
I agree.
And we have to get back to a point where we care about our neighbors, where we care about a complete stranger. And I don't mean that in the essence that we should be supporting people financially or doing this or doing that, but just encouraging people. Do you know how many times, if somebody had just said to me, "You're great, you got this, you're doing a good job,"
like, changed everything for you.
Yeah, it would have changed. It would have been a pivotal moment in my worst moment.
And I kind of feel like this could span into our parenting, because I don't know how you parent since we met and our kids are now grown. So, I mean, it's different from if we were, in our 20s and our kids were little. I'm a very like gung ho. I'm behind you 100% of the way. You want to be a rock star? I'm buying you the guitar. I'm getting you the lessons. I'm the mom screaming from the side.
Yeah.
You want to be a baker, and for all this intents and purposes, I am speaking of my daughter. You want to be a baker. I'm 100% behind you. We're getting you what you want. I'm having you in those classes. And granted, she did take this and go off to college, and she is doing culinary arts and baking and mixology, which is where she's going to focus. So I feel like that sense is I backed her, and she's going to take this and go. But then I think sometimes, am I too much of a cheerleader? Am I too backing? Because I haven't ever let my children fail. And the only reason I say
that's not true. That's not true. You have to let them fail. Yeah.
I don't
Dean
think
learned a lesson hard this year.
Well, that's true.
True. You know what? That was not your fault at all.
No.
And I don't think you could have prevented that. And I think that it's going to get harder and harder to let go and let the kids do. But I mean, it's just a thing. You just got to embrace it and hope for the best. Because we can't hold their hands any longer.
No. Oh, God, no. God, no. But I don't like to say. I don't know. I don't want to see them fail. And then maybe in one sense, I would take their failure as a failure on my part, which I shouldn't. Because you guys are all grown. You're out and experiencing your own life. You have your own battles to fight, your own things to do, your own life to live. But like, I don't ever want to see them fail. But then how are you going to appreciate the good stuff? Because you never had to fail through. And like you said, yeah, Dean learned a valuable lesson. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But
whenever we talk about being there for people, what do you think about community?
Well, honestly, that depends. Now, I'm gonna and we don't. I don't push religion on anybody. I am a religious person. I go to church with your mother-in-law. However, I like our church for the sense, and I had said this before, is we are quiet helpers. I don't mind helping you. I don't want the fanfare.
Right.
So if I helped you, hey, I helped you. great. I am excited that things are going, that my help has helped you and now things are better for you and you're going to be able to pay it forward. I don't need you to walk around and tell everybody, hey, you know who helped me? Hey, you know who came through? Hey, if you want to say it, by all means, I appreciate it. But that thank you at the one time, I don't expect anything further. Hey, thank you for helping me. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. And we're done. I'm not expecting you 20 years from now being like, hey, remember that time that you helped me over that puddle for whatever.
Right.
Like, I don't expect it to come up again, and I'm not going to bring it up again.
Right.
The deed was done, and that's the end of it. I don't need any fanfare. But that's just how I feel. I don't like the fanfare. I just like to help. I like the feeling I get from helping, and I want to help people. And I don't want to I don't know. I don't want people to feel like, oh shit, now I'm obligated. Like the gift thing, like, oh, they bought me a gift, so now I have to get it, like the Sheldon.
I don't like that feeling, Yeah.
And I hate receiving gifts. So, I mean, I'm always like, oh, I like giving them to people. And if I bought them for somebody, if I bought you a gift and you were here and technically I needed to save it to your birthday in March, right? I'd be giving it to you now.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I suck at gifting too.
So now I always have to wait until like right before a gift is due before I can go buy it. But the thing is I like to plan. I want to give a thoughtful gift. I'm a thoughtful gift giver when I'm giving gifts, except for Christmas. Then I was just kind of like, nah. Isn't that weird? I just don't like the forced.
Girl, what the fuck does this have to do with community?
Know. You're right. Anyways, let's go back. See, I got off. Mark that down one. I went off topic. Back
we need to take a shot every time you go off topic. We'd be drunk. Fuck, we'd be trashed.
But I feel like COVID. Okay, COVID happened, and that shit was scary. Let's be honest, it was scary. We were worried. We didn't know. I feel like we were more kind to each other then. Like we are now. Oh, we all changed. We were like, I mean,
everybody
I'm sending
reclusive.
bread. Yep, I'm sending bread to my neighbors. Like, hey, thinking about you. Social distancing. I miss you. I'm stepping out of the the lane for an elderly person to go through first because I want them to be able to get out and get through and not worry about catching something. And it just, I don't know. It was like after we were okay,
right?
Everybody went right back to being an asshole. I sorry, excuse my language.
Yeah, that's true. No, kind of true. And people don't. We talked about already how people don't really do things like they used to do, like just nice things for no reason. And it's just so rare to. My goal is to ultimately provide something that gives a little hope. I mean, in any kind of situation, I feel like we're kind of leaving it open to the writers and the recipients to determine how the conversation is steered. A lot of the questions we've asked in the forums are going to be very direct about it.
Well, because we want everybody to be comfortable too. I don't want somebody writing and they're like do, and then it sends this person further. So then for the questions that you have put up, they are like, hey, does this make you uncomfortable? If it does, we will proceed to then filter through and find you something that, because I mean, there are going to be people who've never done this before. And they don't know. So it's like, well, let me start out, instead of you throwing me something, that might be a little difficult for me or more out of my range of what I could handle. Here's what I can handle. And then well, here you go. We can find you somebody who would work and would benefit from what you can offer. Mm-hmm. And then however, like you said, whatever happens afterwards, it's between the two of them. And if nothing happens, hey, you still sent that kind word to somebody. That is still something that helps somebody, that changed something. I mean, that kind word could have changed somebody from, I hate to say suicide, but that could have changed somebody from suicide. That could have stopped somebody from doing something because your letter showed up in the mail and all it could have said is, hey, I believe in you.
Well, this is something that you got to think about. Humans, they regulate each other emotionally. It's called co-regulation. Babies, they cannot calm themselves without a caregiver. Yep. The wild part, adults still benefit from that. So, I mean, a calm voice, a reassurance, someone just saying, I'm proud of you. That's not childish. That's not childish at all to think about. Yep. That's attachment theory. Completely.
Well, I mean, I could tell you numerous times that I was having a hard time or something happened. Somebody just walked by and kind of like patted my shoulder, gave me that squeeze and that quick smile that was like, hey, I saw that you were having a hard time and I felt that. And you know what? It'll be better. And here you go. Like even it's just a gentle way of saying, and you don't have to touch somebody, but a gentle way of saying, hey, I saw you did it. You made it past your bad day. You made it past this thing. Even if people saw you trip and fall and, you know, land in the mud puddle, you know what? Tomorrow, nobody's going to remember.
Well, and honestly, when everybody talks about mental health now, they talk about it, but are they actually supporting it?
Agreed.
That's the difference. Mental health, it's not weakness. It's nervous system maintenance. Your brain is an organ. It runs on chemistry and experience. Trauma then reshapes your neural pathways. Chronic stress will flood your brain with cortisol. Isolation literally changes your brain activity. That's not poetic at all. That's just neurobiology. Yeah. So, I mean, when someone tells you that they're struggling, that's not drama. That's a biological signal that something needs care.
Yep. And to be honest with you, I feel like if somebody is saying it, then it needs to be addressed. Even if it's just, let's go sit down, tell me what's going on. And I can't help you any further, but you got everything out. And at least then maybe even that would just help you organize your thoughts on how to deal with whatever situation or whatever struggle you're dealing with. But it's just the whole thought of, like you were saying, the isolation. And that seems to be what people do when you're having that issue. You're like, I don't want to be a bother to other people. Or it's not even, I don't want to be a bother. Your brain just tells you, hey, you know, you're bothering that person. And then what's the first thing? Oh, well, I'm going to stop calling. And then the person doesn't realize that you're struggling because you stopped calling. And life happens and they might reach out. Right. But then you automatically assume the reach out is a pity thing. Because your brain is telling you that. And it's putting you further back and it's putting you further back until it's got a hold on you. Until you're screwed. I'd hate to say it.
It's funny that you talk about isolation too. I mean, because that's exactly what mental health is. It means that you're trying to not feel invisible. I think that is the best way to describe it. Invisibility is definitely a quiet killer. We're social mammals.
Yep.
Isolation will increase our mortality rate at levels comparable to smoking. Did you know that?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And think how many people you know that like spending time alone.
Yeah, I know. So that's the thing. That's why this mom foreman is important.
Oh, it's very important.
If you don't have a mom that cheers for you, borrow one. If you have the capacity to be a voice for someone else, sign up and be a mom.
I mean, we're not asking you for anything, but 10 minutes to write out something nice and send it to us. I mean, you could email it to us and we'll pay for the stamp. So, I mean, technically, you're losing 10 minutes of your life, and it really could be 10 minutes while you're sitting in traffic. Or, I mean, no, don't be on your phone in traffic.
No.
Sorry. But like 10 minutes, you know, while you're decompressing from the day, you could pick up your phone and be like, you know what? Let me do this. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to write out something real quick. And then you can just quietly be like, you know what? All right. I feel a little bit better. And then you go about your day. If you ever revisit us, which we hope you do, great. But if you don't, you at least, you know, one person feels better because you took that 10 minutes to do it.
Well, and the thing is we circle back on what we said earlier. The thing is we cannot fix everyone's traumas.
Yeah.
We can't rewrite your childhood, but we can offer a moment of kindness. Sometimes just a moment can change the trajectory of your entire day, your week, a year, maybe more. You never know. I mean, just think of a moment. Is there a moment in your life that you had somebody just come forward and like everything in you was just beaming and you were like, all right, I got this. I figured it out. I'm a badass.
Yeah, I had somebody, actually, I'm planning something that has nothing to do, and I won't mention it here because it is a local thing. And I got agreement on things yesterday, and I'm really excited. And you know how I get when I have a project. I am very gung ho about it. And I went to the meeting and I had a meeting with a chunk of the people in the morning, and it is a mental health sort of thing. I'm trying to bring people together for something. However, I had the meeting in the morning and we went to breakfast, and it was really nice. We had a nice conversation, and everybody who was at said meeting was like, you know what, we got you 100%, whatever you want. And then here's what we can do to help you. And then I had to go to the meeting at night with the same people, but more people are now involved. So I retell the story, but in the meantime, we're talking 8:00 in the morning. I didn't go to this meeting until 7:00 at night. My brain has completely changed into what I was this morning, where I was gung ho and I was excited to. I don't know what happens. The wind went out of my sails. So like, it took me a minute to kind of get the same tenacity that I had in the morning, and it threw off the people I had the morning meeting with, because they were like, you were so gung ho this morning. What happened? And I was like, oh, well. And the thing is, something had happened in the course of the day that took the wind out of my sails. So I was like, well, and they're like, so do you not want to do it? I'm like, oh, no. Everything I said this morning, I 100% want to do. Like, I was like, here, I was like, I have a whole thing planned out. I know exactly what I'm trying to do. I just needed to know if you guys would be backing me on this, and then I can move forth if you guys are happy with what I have planned. And everybody was. But then I had stated how I really wanted to make sure that like we were focusing on things community wise, which I won't mention, and making sure that we were bringing up what this group is looking for, which is volunteers for something. But I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to be lost in the shuffle, kind of like how mental health gets lost in the shuffle of things. Yeah. And I have said, and you've heard me, I feel like women are a very overlooked section of mental health, because what are you told? We just said it. Well, if you lost some weight, really? Or, if I'm upset and I'm crying, and then they're saying to me, well, why are you so emotional? Well, how is that emotional? I don't get it. I don't get how I was emotional because I had a feeling, and the feeling caused me to have sadness or rage or whatever. Am I off topic?
I'm so sorry. Every time I try to move my mic, the whole thing tips. Look, watch.
Oh, shit.
And I'm dying.
What's the red? Is that bad?
Wait, what red?
The red around our picture.
Oh, no, I think that's just the size of this frame, the size of the frame. But
do you feel better?
Well, I got so distracted. I don't remember what you were talking about.
I have no idea.
You were talking about you were supposed to be telling me a time that someone encouraged you.
Oh, I'm getting there. Okay. Sorry. See? Off topic. The encouragement.
Well, I distracted you by freaking flipping the machine, the fucking table over here.
Well, so then the one woman I was with in the morning and had breakfast, she comes over, she goes, what the hell? And I was like, I don't know. Like, the winds went out of my sails. I don't know. And she's like, no, like, we're doing this. What you said, the four of us agreed on. We told you we have you. We offered you everything, all the backing that you could want. We're 100% behind you. We will help you with whatever you want. We're agreeing to your plan. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, I don't understand where you're getting the disconnect. And I said, I'm not getting the disconnect. I said, I don't know where excitement, where my dopamine or whatever just went. And now I'm just, but it renewed itself after I had a conversation with somebody this afternoon. I was texting with somebody, and they made me feel very good about what I was trying to do, because I explained everything to them, and they were like, wow, I'm really proud of you. Like, that really makes me feel good about loving somebody like you. And I was like, wow. Oh, well, that makes me feel good. And then I went off and I ended up I told you I stopped at the Everything Shop, which is a consignment sale shop, a Goodwill. I call it the Everything Shop. It's a Goodwill, as I call it Everything Shop. And I ended up walking through there. I was looking for shoes for somebody that had mentioned they needed shoes. And I ended up running into somebody I know. And he was looking at this really nice jacket. And he's like, him and Han, it was like $2. And I'm like, get the jacket. And he's like, well, I don't know. And you got to have 10 to use your card here. And I was like, well, I have cash and I'll just buy you the damn jacket. because it looked good on him. And so I paid it. I feel like, here we go. I paid it forward to him and he was happy with the jacket. And he's like, well, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. And I was like, well, I don't need a cup of coffee. I said, well, you know what? Next time I'm around and you see me, I said, you can get me with a cup of coffee if you want. But I said, I think the jacket looks good on you. So and you didn't have to, the jacket was $2. What am I worried about? That's why I looked at it. I probably could find $2, cleaning my couch out.
So. I probably could have mine too. You're right.
So I wasn't worried
more
about
than
it.
2, actually.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, I can tell you what actually just happened at work the other night. I had a nurse actually scold me in a room with a patient because I tend to call everybody hun or sweetie or sweetheart.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I even say babe. Like I don't even think about it. I think I'm just chronically Southern. And I had said it to her and she corrected me and said her name and said, I don't like being called anything but my name. And I was like, whoa.
Okay.
It wouldn't have been a big deal if she had told me her boundaries, not in front of a patient.
Just I pulled you aside and said, hey, would you mind addressing me by my name? And you would have been like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And then
no problem. No problem.
Now I like the calling people hun.
I mean, I just can't help it. It's like, it's a thing. And even sometimes, like if I'm not familiar with someone or I don't know their name, that's pretty much where I stick. But I mean,
you can't go wrong with it.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong with it.
I don't think so. But a lot of people here take offense to it, like it's demeaning or something. And no matter what, like where I'm from, it's not a big deal. And it doesn't mean anything affectionate. Maybe it doesn't mean anything like, oh, like you're referring to your loved one or whatever. But for some reason here, people feel like it's like demoralizing or talking down to them. But
I don't know your name.
After she went home for the evening, the doctor talked to me in the break room and she told me, she said, Jennifer, I see you and I see people trying to bring you down. She said, I want you to know that you are doing an amazing job.
And you are. And they're lucky to have you. I'm glad you got in there because they're lucky to have you.
Let me tell you, in that moment, I was like, even though I was still salty about being confronted in front of a patient, like it made me feel a little better about myself. And, she didn't have to do that.
No,
she didn't have to seek me out and she didn't have to. But I'm telling you, some of these people I work with are just incredible individuals and they have done nothing but encourage me. And I feel like that is why I am completely succeeding in what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. And I love that you're succeing. And I love that for you.
It doesn't take much. It took just a couple words and I felt incredible.
Because like I said, I don't think that I could do it, like ride the ambulance or be a nurse or be a doctor. Just smarts wise, I couldn't do the doctoring or the nursing. But to be that person and just be able to help like that. And then that's what you do. And you know what? Not for nothing. Maybe the word hun settled the situation for this patient who could have been not for nothing scared. And sometimes just hearing a weird term of endearment that shouldn't be in the setting of which you are, you kind of like focus on that. And you're like, look, that was a normal word and a situation that isn't normal. I can focus on that word because she wouldn't talk like that if things weren't going to be okay. Now, whether or not other people think that, but that would have been how I perceived what you said. Even though you weren't saying it to me, you were saying it to the other nurse. But if I was the patient in the bed, I would have been like, oh, I'm going to be okay because she wouldn't be talking like that if this was a situation that warranted seriousness.
Right.
You would have been straight up professional with every word you were saying, but you weren't. You were relaxed. So I figure, okay, if she's relaxed, I know I'm going to be all right or all right enough that I can relax. And maybe that might make everything different on my treatment.
Well, and I try to present a presence. It doesn't matter if it's in my work, if it's in my social life, if it's in personal. It doesn't matter. I always try to present a presence of someone that you can lean on. And that's probably what gets me in a lot of trouble. That's probably what gets me a lot of...
That's why you were giving people rides.
Strange situations. I mean...
Hey, can you give me a ride? And you're like,
Well, it's not... That doesn't bother me at all. That doesn't bother me, but like...
not showing up when you ask for it.
When it's taking advantage of, I don't enjoy that at all. And I try to just be a good person. You know, I try to be as much as I can in that moment or what I think is suited for that person. I guess that makes me a bit of a chameleon, doesn't it?
I think,
Who
yes.
am I really?
She's not Boy George. She's not a caramel chameleon. Maybe you are. Are you?
Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Fantastic.
Cut this one out, but that was perfect.
But honestly, with the Mom for a Minute, the mission is to be able to be not necessarily a foundation, but every now and then fill in the cracks.
Yep. And you don't have
when
to
your
be a woman.
foundation starts to tumble, you can get a couple cracks filled right.
And you don't
in
have
there.
to be a woman. You could be anybody.
Anybody that wants to just
worry.
send out some love and
there's
hope.
People, you know, there's got to be other people that are like us that just don't want to see the world like. And I mean, dude, it sucks. The world sucks. Why are we doing this to one another? That's the way I look at it.
There's so many things. Like I can't even tell you honestly right now. I've been debating a hiatus from social media.
Yep.
It is overwhelming. The amount of just sadness in the world.
And that, you know, you want to know something that hit my struggle way back when I remember my first real time having an issue with something. It was when I found out my mother had cancer. And that's when, like, and that's where I can pinpoint my depression, my anxiety, because, you know, like you, here, I'll even use it. Like you with your word of saying hun or babe or whatever. My mom had gone to the oncologist or whatever the cancer doctor is. I'm pretty sure it's an oncologist. All right. And she went, like, we'll say on like a Tuesday, and then Friday he called. And I only remember this because my parents were going to a wedding and they were going to be away for the weekend. And I was 18 and had the house to myself. So I already had plans. And I came home and my mom was sitting at the table and I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "The doctor called." And I said, "Oh." And she said, "And told us to be here Monday with my family," and then hung up the phone. Well, what does that tell you?
Oh,
yeah, that was the first thought.
That was your first anxiety moment in life.
And I said,
it's funny how that sticks out.
I didn't even need that to be said. When she said that to me, I said, "My mom's going to die." Like, and then I cursed myself for having that thought. It was like I put it out into the universe and I was like, why would I think that? But that was the fear, was that she was going to die.
Well, yeah, because that would be your greatest fear in that moment, losing her. Jeez. So. Yeah. And I don't think we've talked about that, about whenever your mom got sick.
It wasn't long. It went for, she had lung cancer. And then as soon as it goes up to your brain, that's the end of that. The thing that gets me is she was on like the fast track for things. Like she had, and everyone, that's the thing. There's goals, there's thoughts, there's pets, there's people you're leaving behind. And it's just,
you got to leave behind a legacy.
Yeah. So it just, and like I said, yeah, to this day, I think about her every day. Hell, I named my kid after her. You know, I mean, I think about her every single day at some point during the day, just even if it's a fleeting thought of just like, "Hey, I miss you." Or, "Hey, don't you think this would have been funny if you were here?" I think about how she would have been as a grandma. Like, you know, because she passed away when I was 19. So I didn't have children yet. You know, my friend Bridget did have a child when we were in high school. And my mom just thought like he was the greatest thing ever.
And she would have been a great grandma.
Yeah. And I was like, what would you think if I had one? She's like, "Well, you don't have to have one. I have Bridget's. I can be a surrogate, you know, like, she's like, don't do anything because I enjoy your best friend bringing over her son. Like, she's like, I just enjoy, you know, getting to pinch baby's cheeks because they're all cute and chubby." She's like, don't go out and have a baby just because I look happy. But like the whole reason I even like broached the subject, which, you know, and then at that point in time, like, I'm glad I didn't, was because I hadn't seen my mom smile in probably almost a year at that point.
Gosh, that's
And
tough.
I just the way she looked holding my best friend's kid, I was like, oh, maybe if I went and had a kid, and then here I am at 18 thinking this, maybe that would make her happy. And then for some reason, this was going to cure the cancer and she was going to live forever because I went out and got myself pregnant at 18.
Oh, gosh.
I mean,
but you don't think rationally at that age.
But I was thinking anything I could think of to keep her here.
Yeah, to keep her there longer.
And Bridget came a lot when my mom was sick. She would come even when I was at work and stuff, just to bring her son over, just to see.
Oh, I love that.
Just to see her, just to, and I didn't know that until years later because I mean, she wasn't telling me like, hey, I went over to your house today with my kid and hung out with your mom. She never said anything to me. It was just years later. We were looking through stuff with my mom and my mom had written stuff out and she was just like, Bridget was here with her adorable little boy today and 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 I was like, wow, that means a lot to me that my friend went out of her way to ensure my mom was okay.
Right.
When I had to be at work or I had to be at school or wherever at that time. So that made me feel good. And that was one of the things like, I was like, oh man, I want to be somebody who helps.
Right.
I want to be that person,
that someone can depend on.
Yeah.
And I mean that loosely depend on.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean? Like somebody that you can count to encourage you.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. But oh gosh, that's terrible. I mean, I can't imagine going through that. My mom is still with me, but my aunt did pass a few years back. She actually was diagnosed with lung cancer on her birthday, April 20th. Jeez. And she passed on July 13th. So it was very fast, very, very fast. It metastasized and it went quick. And every day I think about her. I think about what a difference she's always made in my life because she was like another mom to me. Yep. She always was encouraging and, speaking on what you said earlier, like that was your first moment you breached anxiety. I think, well, with my aunt, that was multiple times I had experienced major anxiety. But my very first time I do remember was when I lost my grandmother, and my grandmother and I were really, really close growing up for all of my childhood that I can remember. After we moved to the States, I would run off the school bus, go across our property, go to her house, and we literally would watch Unsolved Mysteries together. My grandmother was the best, and Robert Stack was her favorite.
She probably secretly had a crush on him.
Oh, maybe. And she's also update. You remember Robert Stack update?
Yes. That was the single scariest show when we were kids,
right? That was our fear.
That would come on, and I would run home.
I would watch America's Most Wanted. I'd be like, oh, dun dun dun.
I would watch that, and I'd be like, yes, they came here.
Well, it gave me that.
And my mom would be like, the ass into nowhere, and I was like, you never know.
Isn't it funny how like crime was just a fantasy almost when we were kids, and now it's like reality because they just show it all to us.
Yeah, it was. I never thought that stuff happened.
No, me neither.
And maybe we were, and we grew up in the 80s. We grew up in a time where our parents were like, bye, I'll see you when the light comes on. And nobody checked on us.
Right.
I mean, we could
have been dead in a ditch.
Yeah.
They always thought we were dead in a ditch too, whenever we were at home.
Dead in a ditch
somewhere.
Or off smoking cigarettes and setting stuff on fire. And
I mean, whatever we did, we were bad kids. But, the internet didn't exist, so nobody knows we were bad kids. I was an angel. I was perfect.
Too. Never did nothing wrong. Literally did not get suspended for a week. Lie to my parents. Never knew I was suspended for a week. I literally just got up and left and I went to the mall every day.
I disappeared out of my house at like 3 a.m. one time. And oh my God, my mom had a fit. I think she called the cops and everything. It was crazy then because, they paid attention to missing kids.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hate
for me.
But the way you said it. Yeah, that's true. They paid attention to missing kids. How many kids are missing?
So many missing kids.
Do you remember the first one you heard that went missing? I want to know if it's the same person I heard. And
the first one I knew was Morgan Nick because I'm from Northwest Arkansas.
Oh, Morgan Nick. Yeah. Ann Wood. That was the first one. That was like in the 80s. I don't know if they ever found. She was in the she was on America's Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, but I moved to the United States in 92.
Okay, yeah, this was before then. It was before then. Because I remember being genuinely like she was my age. Yeah, that's how I went back. I was bad.
Well, I was telling you about my grandma, girl.
Sorry, let's go back to your grandma. All right. So your grandma, and she liked Unsolved Mysteries.
We loved Unsolved Mysteries. She swore that she sounded like Dolly Parton when she sang.
Did she?
I'll let her believe she did.
She did.
She did.
She was technically Dolly Parton. We
she
just
was
were
Dolly
deciding
Parton in
it for her.
disguise as my grandma, Miss Retha Jane.
She just wanted to be able to have some away from the spotlight, so she chose that.
I had Dalton in 2002. No, 2000. Wait, hold on. Rewind. 2003. Excuse me.
I was like, he's not listening. We're good.
2003, Dalton was born, and he was about 6 months old. And I remember he was really sick. And I took him down to her house, and I said, I just don't know how to get him to stop crying. And my grandma was like, well, don't worry, let me take him. And she swore that every time he saw her, he said, hi. And it did sound like he said hi, but because she would always be like, hi in his face. So she swore he was saying hi to her. She held him until he calmed down. She got him to go to sleep, snuggled with him. And I had just sat there and I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because it was the worst. It was the worst. He was sick and it was terrible. And then the next day she ended up in the hospital sick. And I swore that it was my fault.
No.
I swore for the longest time that it was my fault, but she had to have a heart cath done. And then she had a pulmonary embolism. And I do remember after the heart cath was done, they came out and they said, everything's great. She's going into recovery. And I said, all right. And I drove to Brahms and I got a bag of burgers, 2 bags of burgers, because everybody was gathered there. The whole family was there. And I remember I came back and my little brother ran out and the look on his face, I just knew.
You're like,
I knew.
Shit.
Like, I don't think the bag of burgers made it in with me. I think I dropped them on the sidewalk. I just ran in and yeah, they said she had a pulmonary embolism. And that was the first time I felt my world crumble. And I would never wish that feeling on anybody.
No, not at all.
And I think that loss is something that does permanent damage. They say
I was going to say change, but damage is the right word.
They say that your grief never shrinks. You just grow around it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very, very true.
And not for nothing, people who have passed deserve to be remembered. And that's the thing too, you know, I mean, if you let the memory die. And look, your grandma might have been doing something just like this.
I know. Oh my God, she was a crazy lady. She thought she could mimic a peacock. Oh Lord, my cousin. Well,
she already sung like Dolly Parton, so I mean, we got to tell her she could do whatever.
My cousin and I used to get in her Buick. Wait, it was a Buick, and we would drive it around and have one of the bench seats, and he'd be like, "It's the Jesus Mobile, it's the Jesus Mobile," because she'd always have her gospel music going. Oh Lord, I miss that woman.
Sheets. I can remember my grandma taking a wide turn, and I just go, "Soup."
Mm-hmm.
And it was that was the best part about those cars.
Oh my God, one of my first memories of my grandma when I was little, and I got in trouble for saying something naughty, and she tried to spank me with one of those fold out rulers. Do you remember those rulers, like the yardsticks that you could fold out? And every time she'd spank me, a piece would break off, and so I'd just turn around and laugh at her. Oh, that pissed her off more. She spanked me again, another piece would fly, and I'd laugh. Oh, it was the best. Some of the things that lady did, she was a lot, but she was fantastic. I love her. To this day, I mean, every time I go back home, I still go visit her. I'm a grandfather now that my grandfather passed as well a couple of years ago. And my grandmother was a saint.
Yeah. Saint for putting up with them. There you go.
Oh, yes. And she always said, heavens to Betsy.
And it's kind of funny because she found a similar type grandma. In Joan.
God, yes.
She is literally.
And it's crazy because, Joan is the same age as my grandparents. Like, so John's parents are 20 years older than my parents.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my dad's 85.
Yeah, my mom.
I mean, that's pretty bad,
Hold on. My mom is going to be 63 this 60. You know what? I probably blessed her with that number. Yeah. 63. We'll stick with 63.
I mean, we all stopped aging at 29, us women. That's the deal we made with Jesus or the devil, whoever you want to look at it.
I don't know.
29, baby.
I'm okay with aging. I feel like I'm doing it semi-gracefully.
Well, then we enter the whole second part of life, but you're not there yet.
Which
I'm talking about the menopause.
Girl, I've been there.
Really?
Yeah, I had a hysterectomy.
I forgot about
I don't remember how many years ago.
Well, I just
the factory was.
Yeah, I'm having the complete opposite of everything. I know we're still talking. This is a mental thing here. Why am I the opposite of absolutely? Everyone's like, man, I feel like crap. I have no energy. I have no sex drive. I'm like, and no offense, because I'm going to get onto the sex topic, but
here we go.
I'm fucking horny 90% of the time.
Like, here we go.
Forgive me. I broke the internet. I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking. Because like I asked my mother-in-law, I was like, hey, like out of curiosity, would you like to go have lunch with me? Sure. I said, all right. So we went to lunch. I said, can we have a conversation? I said, I know it's delicate. I don't have a mom to ask. Why is this happening? And she's like, oh, that's not how it was for me. And I'm like, oh, how was it for you? And I guess she was, depressive and upset and no energy. And I'm like, oh, do you think I'm getting a reprieve because my life was like that before? And now that I'm coming into this new thing, I don't know. God was like, I feel bad for making you tired for all those years. So here's some energy.
Maybe.
I don't know. And he's like, here's some sex drive.
Maybe.
Because I no offense, I didn't really I'd like having sex, but I wasn't always like, oh, I got to have it. But like now I'm like, man.
What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I mean, look.
Let me get in your pants, baby.
Like I said, we went to breakfast. So we had breakfast.
Oh God, here we go. We're gonna get a story.
Oh well, yes, we are. We had breakfast. Now there's a group of if
you're gonna tell that story, you better tell your other story too.
Which one, about the UPS guy?
Hey, no.
Which one?
What prevented you from being here on time?
Oh. You don't think I'd tell that?
Girl, I think you need to tell it because poor Kelly had a bad day.
I had a shitty day.
Wait, but what was your other story? Hold on. I can remind you to tell your other story if you finish the other one first.
Okay. Get me back on track with the first one.
Okay. The first one. Wait, do I need to remind you? Is that what you're saying? I need to remind you what you were talking about?
We were talking about sex drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you said we went to breakfast?
We went to breakfast and there was a see, yes, I do need you to get on.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, you want me to start your sentence for you?
I did not smoke before this because I know what that does to me.
No. So we're going. It inspires you.
It does. It gets me off topic.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're sitting there, we're having breakfast, and I'm doing my spiel about why we're at breakfast. Well, that wasn't why we were at breakfast. We went to breakfast for another reason. But so I'm like, Well, there's a group of sheriffs sitting. No, they were troopers. Troopers have the dark blue car, right? Sheriffs have the white. They were.
It doesn't matter.
Anyways,
they were cops.
They were cops. So they're sitting over there. So we're talking, and I'm like, hey, we're talking about who is new. Like how you can tell the rookie and the cops of the way they look. Like who's been seasoned, the way they look, the way they walk, the way they act. So I said, well, this one's the new one. You can tell because like he's got his vest on the outside. He's standing straight. Everything's tucked in. He looks like mad appropriate. He's being really like he's looking around. Like he's being very like visual about what stuff is going on. The other guy is just kind of sitting there. He's enjoying his eggs. Another one's drinking coffee. And then there's a fourth one. He's about the same age as the other one, but he doesn't look as funkled. Is that a word? He doesn't look as like worried about the situation of, the diner. Because
Discombobulated? Discombobulated is a good word. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So we're talking, and because the ladies that I'm talking to are older than I am, but I'm staring at the cops, and I'm not doing it purposely. We're just talking, and that's just because I can't maintain eye contact for long periods of time. I'm just staring there. So they're like, "What the hell are you looking at?" So I'm like, "Oh, them," because I'm not quiet and I need to point as I'm doing it. And who's looking over at us? Rookie sheriff. Peacock.
The vigilant one?
Yes.
The peacock is what you said. Did you call him the peacock? He was like,
yeah. So then they're like, oh, he noticed you.
Look at my beautiful feathers.
He did. So the lady sitting next to me goes, oh, he noticed you. So then I don't know why I have to then say something about how he notices me. So I said, hey, are you wearing a wedding ring? And I yelled it across the diner.
I can't believe you did that.
I just wanted to know. He was not.
You called it.
I did. And then he asked why we asked that. And that's what I said. I said, oh, we were trying to figure out who was the rookie, who was seasoned, and who had food on their shirt.
Oh, fair enough.
I know we did pretty good. As for the UPS guy thing, that's just something I hold against the girl that that owns the real estate thing because he hugged me on Main Street. So I win.
Even this UPS man, I'm telling you, you talked about him last week too. Is he really that good looking? I feel like I need to see him.
Yeah, we're going to go see him.
I need to judge.
Oh
I need to judge.
Yes, he's good. He's good looking. No offense to my husband, but he's good looking.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't deliver packages to me that often.
So do we want to still talk about your morning struggle?
Oh, yes. Oh, because you want me to talk about that. All right. So I get up. I go.
Well, I told my.
I know. I went. Sorry. Shit. So I go to work. Now, I don't know. We never told about anybody what we do for jobs.
It don't matter. Just,
okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was going to go take care of something and I stuck something into it and something was already there. And the thing that was already there.
Okay, wait. Now you made it sound really bad.
Oh, it was shit. It was shit.
She was cleaning a toilet.
I was cleaning a toilet.
Maybe you should clarify.
I was cleaning. I'm sorry.
Because you made it sound like I was putting the thing in the thing and the thing came off of me.
Girl, I wasn't even saying that. I don't know where you were going. I was cleaning the toilet at my job and I didn't realize somebody left a floater. And I didn't look because a sea biscuit. It was Mr. Krabs. I flung up the sea and then just sprayed the stuff and went at it. But in the meantime, somebody had come in and they were talking, which is why my attention wasn't focused on said task. Because they had yelled something and I turned around to say something and I just went to drop everything.
The thing in.
Oh my God, it splashed up. It got on my face. I had to use 7 Clorox cleanup wipes on my face, which don't use on your face ever, people, ever. No, I then had to ritually, burn myself. I think there's actually
a warning label on it.
It is. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. I admit to it. It happened. You know what? It happened. I gotta sanitize. I said, I gotta go home. You gotta give me at least 20 plus minutes of me just having
20
a
minutes
breakdown.
Passed, and I said, where the hell are you, girl?
40 minutes later, I showed up and said, I got the poo on me, and I had to Joe Dirt it out of there.
See, you guys just have to deal with it sporadically in these moments that you listen to us. But it is a lifestyle for me.
I know.
Kellie is truly a lifestyle for me.
I share. I do. And I share talk to text, which makes absolutely no sense.
Oh, my God. We should just share some of your talk to text messages.
I don't understand why this
Not just that, but it edits you and it's the weirdest damn thing. I bet you have something turned on in your phone and you just don't realize it.
It's like, I don't want her to swear. Because anytime I swear, it does the stars. And I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm an adult. My old phone, though, that's the thing that pisses me off is my old phone. Like I would do the talk to text and then I would say like period and question mark and whatever. And it would just do the punctuation. Now it writes the word.
Your phone does not cooperate.
No, I'm like, how many people are saying question mark and using it and not just putting a question mark? Apparently
I don't know.
A lot, according to Samsung, because that's my phone.
Apparently.
You have an Apple phone.
Yes, I do love my iPhone. I'm a bit of an iPhone junkie. I think I've had one since a 4.
Really? What do you want now? She's like a 758. I
have no clue what my phone is. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
A 17,
a newer
a
one than your 4, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that we could probably wrap this up. This isn't too bad.
I do. I feel like we stayed on topic. And Mom, for a minute, I really think everybody should take a look at it. And just, I mean, even if you can't help, share the page, share the idea, share it. Please share. Because there's people out there that need us and there's people out there that want to help. There's got to be more people like us. Who think like us. I hope there's nobody else out there like me. Oh my God. Could you imagine if
it'd be a crazy world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, agreed. Just as a call to action.
And we want to, definitely.
We want to see people participate. I mean, for the meantime, we're going to be writing letters whenever we receive requests. We're going to talk to some people in the community to see if we can get some other moms just locally. But otherwise, we've got this thing rip roaring and ready to go.
And I've been putting the scuttlebutt out. Believe me,
right.
I will talk to strangers.
We have been sharing the links for the forums. I think I'm going to go ahead and get them maybe shared through TikTok. Maybe get a few things out there. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't used TikTok in forever, but I guess I'll give it a try.
Every time I open TikTok, it says 999 plus. I'm like, wait, I don't even know that many people. Who's
I don't know who sends me all these messages, but it's whatever. I'll answer them eventually.
I'm just like, I don't really TikTok.
So just messing with you. I'm sorry. But yeah. I think we should.
Anyways, yeah. So
yes, the forms are both in our Facebook
Yep.
and they're Jot forms. They are totally safe, private. They just come to us. It's not shared with anybody else.
And you only share the information you want to share. You only
Exactly.
You only have
Only
to
share
do
what
the
you wanna
parts you
share.
want to do, which I think is great. And I think that to me, that makes me feel better. If I was a little leery about it, which, I was gung ho. As soon as you said it, I immediately was like, Jen, that's a fantastic idea. I think that that's amazing. And you're going to start a movement. And every time I tell people, I'm always like, look, my friend Jen, and I go on, and I'm like, and she's starting a movement and I want to see you part of it, be a part of it, be a part of it. And I just can't wait because I know it's going to be amazing. And I get to say, hey, I'm friends with the person who thought of it.
Well, and I think that something else that I'm sorry, I'm not trying to distract from it. I just want to read the little disclosure that we included on here, so we can talk about. I want to reassure everybody that this is just a volunteer-based encouragement project that is designed to offer one thoughtful letter of support to individuals who would benefit from a caring voice. This is going to be a one-time letter exchange. There's no expectation of any ongoing communication. After your letter is delivered, the exchange is considered complete. Then if you decide you want to participate in the future, you could either be a writer or a recipient. You're welcome to submit a new form and then just get matched. We're hoping to make one match per week at least. We want to ask that you give at least 7 days to get matched because we're going to be doing this as a 2-woman show here.
Yep.
Once matched, you'll receive your instructions and your submission timeline via email.
But please read the disclosure. We would like you to read through everything. I know that how many times we scroll through and just click yes and never read, but please read.
We just want you to understand that there is no attachment necessary with this. We want you to understand that this can be a one-time thing. This can be something that you just choose to do once and never have to do again, but it's still always something that you did because even that one letter, that one bit of encouragement for that person could pivot their entire life. And
I mean, that letter could come at a point where they were thinking, like I said, about ending. And then all of a sudden your letter that just says, hi.
Hey, you're doing a good job.
Yep. And now they're sitting
going
there and that's changed everything. That made them put whatever down or, it's just amazing movement and you are fantastic. And I'm so glad you thought about it. I'm so glad you're allowing me to be a part of it. I am so proud of you. And I am so excited to see this become, and it's going to be fantastic. And even if it's just you and I do it, I have nothing to do but write letters. I mean, I have to go to those jobs, but
I hope that people do see that we are excited about it and we do have every intentions of pushing and following through with this. So, just let us know if you want to privately write letters and not even it be associated with you. By God, we'll do that too. Just reach out to us. We're willing to take any kind of love and encouragement that you are willing to give.
Just as long as it is encouraging.
Yes.
I don't know this number, so I'm not going to answer. I probably should answer it. Screw it. I already hit.
All right.
I mean, if you knew me, you would have texted, right? That's
I think you would think.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go.
Bye, guys.